Good morning, precious. How you doing, baby? Happy Tuesday.
And today on Coffee and Conversation with your girl, Shakenya. When you get a minute, go to my YouTube channel, Coffee and Conversation with Shakenya, and hit subscribe. It's free for now. It's free for now, right? Go on and hit it. And then look at some of the videos. You can pick which one. It's over 1,000 videos on my channel. Over 1,000 videos on my channel. Dedicated to living a better life. Yeah. All of it ain't about co-parenting. Majority of it is though. Because that's the key. That's the key. It's only a broken home when y'all not able to connect after the breakup. Yeah. When y'all not able to have a relationship after the breakup. That's the only time it's a broken home. Right? Y'all working together, yeah. That's not broken. Because y'all fixed it. Yeah, y'all couldn't work it and be together this way, but y'all able to be together this way for the sake of the kids, right? That's all that is. And that baby, you can still have a good life with y'all having separate lives. Yeah. Only if y'all working together. Because if not, y'all tearing the baby apart. Yeah. If you putting the baby in a position where they got to choose, y'all can't get along, y'all can't show up in the gathering, so the baby got to decide which one they got to have loyalty to. That's bullshit. You don't put no child through nothing like that. That's traumatic. Yeah. That contributes to childhood trauma. Every time you look up, they come over your house, all you doing is dogging and talking shit about the daddy. When you go to daddy's house, all they do is talk down and talk shit about the mama. Kids don't want to hear that. They want to be able to look up to both of their parents, right? Oh yeah, they want to love and respect both of their parents, right? So it'd be good if y'all able to get on the same page for the sake of the child, right? At least get along, right? Yeah. So y'all, today I ain't gonna hold you. I'm not. Please get a copy of my book, Dysfunctional Family Knot. You can get it from lulupublishing.com or you can get it from Amazon. You thought you was gonna see me in my pajamas today? That's the only reason why you came. You thought you was gonna see me in my skivvies? Not today, baby. I've been out already. I just stopped home for a minute. Yeah, but I'm about to go back out. Yeah, so now I'm working today, baby. I'm trying to get some money. I need some money, right? So y'all, today, raising our daughters part 33. I don't know when it's gonna end. Because you don't never want to let them little girls go. Yeah, because once they gone, they gone. Oh yeah, once they got it in their mind, I don't know, Yeah, once a little girl is solid, she know what she want to do, she growing like, these videos ain't for me. Yeah, my baby gone. She been gone. Yeah, she been out my life 6 years, but she been gone. She been gone ever since me and the daddy broke up. Yeah, as soon as she was able to talk, you best believe he was trying to turn that page and make sure that I was not in her. Oh yes. Oh yes. That's how demonic it is. Yeah, that's how terrible it is, right? So yeah, you gotta keep that in mind. My situation is unique, it's different. Yeah, it's probably in the 1 percentile type situation. Yeah, where a baby father would go so far and do such a thing. Yeah. You hear it now every day with baby mamas now. Baby mamas take these kids out these daddies' lives with no problem. Yeah, they hear that every day. So but me, knowing how valuable a mom is, knowing, to devalue a mom, dudes ain't doing that. Yeah, men not doing that. They know how important it is to have a child to have a mom. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dudes ain't doing that. They not. So mine is a unique case. Yeah. So we raising our daughters part 33. We got a 9th grader and a 4th grader. No complaints. None whatsoever. It seemed like all the classes that I taught is working. It seemed like everything that I tried to instill in them, everything stuck. I pretty much got the product that I'm looking for. I have some good children. Yeah, I brag about them all the time. I'm talking about them all the time. They always doing something that amazes me. Yeah, they don't like to see me coming because they know the conversation is going to start off one way, but it's going to end up on my kids or something that I'm doing. But mainly my kids. And I'm gonna pull the phone out. I'm gonna show some pictures. Yeah, of the event or whatever it was. Yeah, so you probably don't want to see me coming unless you sharing good stories about your own kids, right? That's my tribe, right? So yeah, so no complaints for real. Yeah, they getting along, so I don't have no issues with them. The boys out, they doing their thing. I don't have no issues. I ain't getting no calls for them. Man, I'm living a mama's paradise, right? It was just a lot of ripping and running. Yeah, both girls were involved in after-school activities at this point, right? So yeah, I'm ripping and running, practices, award ceremonies, because they're getting awarded for something, whether it was attendance, whether it was their grades, whether it was their citizenship, whether it was just them participating in different activities, whether it be the sports. So I was always at some type of award ceremony, some type of event, right? And games. Sometimes I was going to like 2 games in a day. And I'm not complaining. Oh, I enjoyed it. Oh, I enjoyed it. Oh, my goodness, my life was full. My life was full, right? So, yeah. So, just molding at this point. Yeah, because I done already put the foundation down. So, right now, if we're looking at building a house, the basement is done, right? So, now I'm putting up walls. Yeah, I'm putting up walls now with these girls. I'm putting up walls. I'm molding them in my likeness. I'm still instilling. I'm piling on bricks to that oldest one. On that oldest one. Oh, yeah, her back is heavy. Her back is heavy because she has to set the example for that little girl. So I can't go wrong with this oldest. There's no room for error, right? So, and actually it wasn't. She was a breath of fresh air. Because you got to keep in mind, coming from raising 3 boys, 2 of them not even biologically mine. I done started a youth program to keep this youngest one in line, and it worked because he doing good, right? So I'm, hey, I'm doing things. We moving, right? So, yeah, that oldest got to be the one. Got to be the one, right? So, perfect. So I'm molding her in that image. I'm molding her to be that one. That's the golden child. Quiet as a scout, you know what I'm saying? But no, all my children were golden, right? But that oldest, yeah, so I'm piling it on that oldest because that baby looking up to her. That baby want to be like her. That baby doing things she doing, right? So I had to emphasize to her and let her know, that baby's watching. So you best to be on your best behavior. You got to do everything right because she always looking at you. That was one of the stilts to help keep her up. Because remember I told you with the kids, all of them had their own little thing going on. So I had used each other as a crutch for the other. So that's why when you pulled the baby out, it was like a tumbling effect. It was like a chair with one of the legs missing, right? Because I raised them to be together, work together. Y'all are one, right? So it was a connection. So even though I raised them to be individuals and have their own individuality, we were still locked in together as a team. We got through everything together. We talked about everything to each other. It was no secrets with one another. That's how tight we were. Even with the age gap. Even with the age difference. Right? Even with me being the mom. Right? I still had that connection with my children. Right? So yeah. Focusing on no pregnancies at this time with that 9th grader. Oh yeah. High school. Most of them kids having sex right now, they all unprotected maybe. So you got diseases and infections running wild. You got kids having baby. Yeah, so the 9th grader, she in the world in high school. That's a whole different world, right? So you got to make sure, because you're not there, right? So when you let them go and they leave, you're not the only influence they have. Right? You're not your child's only influence. I tell that to my parents all the time. Good working parents coming in, bringing these kids in, and the kids just off the chain, and they can't figure out what's going on or what. And I have to remind them, everything starts at home. But you are not your child's only influence once they leave your house. They influenced by other little kids. They influenced by the other adults that they see that's dropping off the kids. They influenced by whoever they see on their walk to school. They influenced by the employees at the school. You know what I'm saying? So it's like other family members, your friends, the people that you have around them. So you'll be surprised what children pick up and who they pick it up from. So piling it onto the baby and that oldest, I'm on her head about no pregnancies. I'm on her head about no drugs. Don't be experimenting when they be in the bathroom, when they be passing it. You let them keep passing it, right? Because, and don't worry about not being looked at as being cool. They going to talk about you. So what? So what? Let them talk about you. What they going to say? You didn't take the drugs, right? That's all they going to say. That's all they can say is Kennedy or whatever, whoever the child, they didn't take the drugs. That's what the rumor gonna be. Yeah, they didn't smoke the weed. Yeah, they didn't take the Molly. They didn't sip the lean. They didn't do it. Right? That's all they gonna say. Let them say that. That's the rumor that you want around. Right? The same as when little boys try to get you and they want to touch all on you and freak on you and all that stuff, and you telling them no. Don't worry about what they think about you. What can they say? You ain't give up the cakes? What, they're going to be laughing? She didn't give up the cakes. Let that be the rumor they have around. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, on her about that. Making sure she ain't drinking. Kids be sneaking in gummies. They be sneaking in alcohol in the school. Yeah, so just say no to all of that. So constant speech is about that, right? Having conversations about boys. Yeah, so if you're not talking to your child about the opposite sex or the same sex, if you don't know what your child's sexuality is at that age, something ain't right. Y'all ain't talking. Y'all ain't having conversations. Because at that point, you should know your child's sexuality. You should know if they are having sex. You should know if they so-called have a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You should know that, and you would know that if you had an open line of communication with them. So by me opening that line early, it wasn't hard for them to tell me what was going on. It wasn't hard for them to let me know, yeah, this is what it is, right? So, yeah, so having conversations about boys, see if she liking anybody in particular, right? How serious is it, right? Checking in. What's up? What y'all doing? Have y'all got past first base? What? Yeah. Tell mama the tea, right? So, no, doing good. So far, so good, right? Checking in with the baby. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I know she's 10. Yeah, but don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that. Because, see, now she's solo. She's in the school by herself, right? She still got a couple grades to go. So her influences are still older children while she's there. And her sister's gone off to high school. So checking in with her, making sure, hey. And she didn't give me the impression that it was anything that I needed to worry about as far as little boys were concerned. Her books were more important, right? Because I used to tell them books before boys because boys bring babies, right? So they literally put books first. They literally would read books before they watched something on TV. And then I used to make them watch our shows. So I don't know if you did or not, what your reason was, but we didn't have cable for a little stint, right? So, and that's not my only reason, because even if we did have cable, I still would have looked for those shows that I grew up on, shows that had meaning, shows that meant something. So I had them watching the Cosby Show. I had them watching A Different World. I had them watching Family Ties. I had them watching, you know what I'm saying, old shows like that, right? So, yeah, the morals and the values were there in the shows, right? Just like I recommend the Upshaws. Oh my God, if you have not watched it, that's actually a family show. Yep, I will recommend that to be a show that you can actually sit down with your kids, right? It does have some mature material, but nothing that I think you would have to constantly cover their eyes or close their ears. Some of the stuff they might hear on that show, you probably say it at your house or did it at your house. But it's a real show. It's relatable. It's a good show, right? It's a family show. So if you look for something to watch with your kids, I recommend The Upshaw, starring Mike Epps as Bernard, Kim Fields as Regina, and Wanda Sykes as Lucretia. And no, they didn't pay me to say that. I hope they do, though. Hey, hope they do. Right? So just checking in with the baby, yeah, because you'll be surprised 10-year-olds what she see. Yeah. She on her own making her own decisions. She's influenced by the other children. Nobody's there to shield her or shelter her from the stuff that goes on, right? So she walking through doing what she do, right? But good. At this point, I have no issues, right? So our talk stayed the same. So I stayed in the business. I knew what was going on. So you have still no issues. No resistance. Yeah, remember I told you sometimes when you get the baby from the other parent's house, sometimes you got to reprogram them. Yeah, they do chores at your house and they go over there. They probably don't do chores. So when they come to your house and you ask them to do some chores, they looking at you crazy, right? So yeah, none of that. No reprogramming at this time. She's 10 years old. We've been divorced for a couple years. Yep, no programming at this time when she come home. So this is probably why I had a false sense of security because, yeah, I didn't sense anything yet. We're going strong. We're moving forward. Everybody doing good. So, yeah. Because after she came back and her grades went up, I thought that was a goal for both of us. Even though we didn't communicate, we didn't talk, when we were together, I'm going and operating off the same thing that we had in mind for her when we were in the marriage. Nothing should have changed from that. So we both wanted her to go off to college. We both wanted certain things for her, right? So that being one, preserving innocence so she wouldn't grow up so fast. That's why I didn't understand why he challenged me with the phone situation and got her a phone anyway, right? To where now she all on social media, right? So if we got the same idea in mind for her, we shouldn't be at each other's throats. And even though we're not talking, we should be both operating in that way, right? So if I'm preserving innocence over here by keeping the phone from her or doing whatever I'm doing, he should have methods as a dad over there to make sure. And then it should be certain things that we should be doing together, right? Meaning that he doing it and I'm doing it too. So when he brought her back and her grades went up, considering that was important for both of us, right? I thought whatever idea he had in his head, whatever was going on, whatever made him feel like he can do it better, whatever he felt against me, I thought that was over. I didn't have a doubt in my mind that it was over and canceled because why? We're working good together. We have a good situation. We have a good routine. I drop her off on Fridays. I pick her up either Sunday or Monday from school. Unless it's a hair day, I'm going to pick her up Monday, right? So we not arguing. We not beefed out. I'm not going down there to up the child support. Like, me and his wife get along, right? No issues, right? No issues. Co-parenting at its finest, right? So, yeah, her grades. So, I'm not thinking nothing. Yeah, she's taking good care of. We took really, really good care of that baby. We treated her like she was the golden child. Yeah, we all treated her like she was, and I treated all my children like they were the golden children. They were the ones. All of them. Not just the baby. All of them was the ones, right? I was so proud of all of them. Because by me keeping everybody in line, keeping everybody in step, everybody on the same page, nobody's reading from different books. We're reading from the same book. Even the baby was on the same page with the older. Because it was certain conversations she was privy to. She was privy to credit conversations. She was privy to entrepreneur conversations. She was privy to home ownership conversations. She was privy to stuff like that. So she might have been a little more advanced in that way because it was certain conversations that I did allow her to sit in on that could have probably waited, right? Nothing that was wrong. I don't think nothing wrong with her knowing what credit is, especially if she asking questions. She asking questions she want to know, right? Especially if she want to know what owning her own business. How do you do that, Mom? What does that mean? What's that LLC? Mom, what's a 501c3? What's that? If she asking, I'm going to answer. I'm going to answer, right? So, yeah, she was privy to some of that. So, yeah, I was proud of all of the kids. Yup. Just the boys by themselves. Being in their 20s, right? And not suffering from any childhood trauma. Oh my God, that was something that was a goal of mine, and it was a mission to make sure they didn't suffer any childhood traumas because they very well could have. And it could very well damage them as grown men, right? So by this time, they're in their early 20s and, yeah, none. Just them being black, right? Knowing and hearing the stories in the streets of how black men are victims and how they're abused and how they just taken out and unalive by people that's supposed to be protecting us, and you know what I'm saying? Just hearing gang violence and all. So that's enough trauma for a young man to probably want to seek mental health there, right? So just that, being black, growing up without a dad. Although I had positive male role models around them, they didn't have their dad in their life. So they were fatherless boys. That's enough to send you to the therapist. That can cause childhood trauma. Growing up without a dad, right? Being raised by a woman. Oh, a woman can't raise a boy to be a man, so already they're going to be at a loss, right? That's traumatizing. Not knowing what you're supposed to do, not knowing where to go, not knowing how to be as a man because you don't have anybody to emulate. All you got is this woman. All you got is this woman. And yeah, I dress like a boy, I look like a boy, but you know when I put them clothes on, I put them on, right? I put them on, baby, right? So, I'm a woman. I'm a woman, right? So, no matter how many tires I change, no matter how many sheets of drywall I hang, no matter how much I tinker with my motorcycle, no matter how much I do all of that, I'm still just a girl. Still just a woman. I would never know what it's like to be a man. I would never know the things that they go through as young men. I would never know that. So it's certain questions I ain't going to be able to answer. It's certain things I'm not going to be able to tell them. It's certain things I'm not going to be able to shelter them from because I don't even know. Right? That's how we fall short. So some women get offended when I say that a woman can't raise a boy to be a man, but we can. We can raise decent. My young men turned out to be real decent, right? But it took a lot of work for me to make sure they became decent, right? It was a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of positive male role models and influences in their life for them to emulate. It was a lot to do, right? So, yeah, the divorce. Yep. My breakups. I had a couple boyfriends throughout the time of them growing up. That could have been something, yeah. And I think me telling them about the breakup and why I left the relationship, I think by me taking time out for myself to heal before I moved on, right? I think finding closure in a relationship, I think all that played a part, right? Because in certain cases when we have bad breakups, I know certain women that be scorned, I know certain women that be bitter, and I know certain women that deem all men to be ain't shit or bad, and it comes out when you raising your son. And I don't think we realize that, right? So yeah, I'm not one to never bash men. I've actually taught my children to respect black men, right? Along with my daughters, right? I can't see my daughters all in a man's face, hollering at a man, trying to fight a man, begging a man to come on and hit them. I can't imagine that because I raised my daughters to respect black men. Respect men, period. I know, you say some men don't deserve that, but hey, my daughters ain't gonna get knocked in the head for talking shit to a guy at the gas station because they didn't want to give them their number. Yeah, they're not gonna go back and forth with no dude, right? At least I would hope not, right? Because at this age, in 2013, this is something that I've instilled. Yeah. So yeah, that could cause childhood trauma. Us moving from Hartwell to the new house could have caused a little trauma. They were older, but still, it was still a move from a place that they know as home, right? My little brother's growing up without our mom. Yeah, that's traumatizing. That can cause childhood trauma. Yeah, I don't care how much I did to make them feel like they were my children. I'm just their sister, right? I'm just their sister. Yeah, I raised them like they were mine, but when they called me mom, I corrected them. No, I'm your sister. Our mom passed away. Right, so that could have contributed to childhood trauma. So yeah, just them growing up and not suffering with any childhood trauma, right? Becoming the men that they were becoming and growing up to be, right? Oh my God, so proud of them. We're so happy, right? Happy and sure that they will make some woman real happy. Yeah. They brought so much to the table. Yeah, I had put so much into them, right? They know how to cook, clean, do laundry, right? Oh, work. They know that their role is to provide and protect. So they know their responsibilities as men, right? Yeah. And they know how to do ponytails and quick weaves. You don't get no better than that as a man, right? And let me tell you, they also have superpowers. Oh, they also have superpowers. I gave all my children a gift of gab. So my boys had the gift of gab. Yeah. That was a present. I wrapped it up in a bow. And I got that from my mama. Oh, yeah. A substance abuse user? Oh, that could sell you something you don't even need. So yeah, my mom, she was good. She was good with that words, right? So yeah, but when they were younger and we used to have those family meetings, that gave them the opportunity to learn how to express themselves, right? So when we had the table, they were able to say what they feel. I was able to correct them if I had to, right? But for the most part, it was giving them the opportunity to express themselves, right? And then also when they were going through different emotions, I would identify their emotions. So I helped them identify what they were feeling at the time that they were feeling it, right? So as they grow into men, now I have men that are able to tell you how they feel. Oh! Yeah, I was raising the girls in my likeness, but I was raising my boys to be the men that I would want. That I would want for myself, that I would want for my daughter, that I would want for anybody's daughter, right? So, yeah, I instilled a lot. So those things where I felt very important because a lot of men that I had met lacked that. The ability to tell me what you're feeling. Articulate what's going on with you, right? Don't act it out, right? That's an emotional man. Men aren't supposed to be emotional, right? So, yeah, to help them out there. So, yeah, that was their superpowers, right? So, yeah, I was so happy and so proud of my men, right? Yeah, definitely young men that need to be loved and respected, especially by their family, especially by their sisters, right, and their niece. So, yeah, I raised them to do just that. They were part of the village. Yeah, they are considered to be elders at some point, right? Because remember, we're raising our daughters to be little ladies. We raise them to be somebody's wife. We raise them to be somebody's mother. We raise them to be eventually somebody's big mom. Well, your sons, you got to do the same. You got to raise them to be young men. You got to raise them to be somebody's father. You got to raise them to be somebody's grandpa. You got to raise them to be the elder over the house. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, loved and respected. They're part of the village. They were able to tell my daughters whatever. All right, they were able to keep them in line, make sure they stay in a young lady's place. And I know that sounds a little barbaric, or took you back to the Stone Age. They stay in their place, but yeah, a young lady needs to hear from a man. Get out that man's face. They need to hear from a man. Close your legs. Little ladies don't sit like that. They need to hear from a man. Little ladies don't do that, right? So yeah, they need to hear that. So my boys were able to keep them in their place. Yeah. Yeah, they were good big brothers and a good uncle. Yeah. So this is 2013. I'm giving you a backdrop of the connection and the relationships at this point with my kids and myself, right? The family is still intact. Because when I come on here, I let you know the family was destroyed. I let you know that everybody was every man for himself, right? So now that we're going back, we're in 2013, my family is still intact. Everybody's relationships are still good. Everybody is involved in each other's lives. My boys, they don't have any police contact or anything, right? They're doing what they're supposed to do. They're responsible adults, right? There are no disorders. Yeah. Nobody's suffering from any childhood trauma, right? And there are no addictions, right? So everybody's good. The babies still live with us. You have everybody good. Everybody good. For me, I finished school, so I have my bachelor's degree in criminal justice at this time. Finally finished writing the book, as you see right here. Yep. Finally finished writing the book. Started the youth program. Yeah. No disorders, no addictions. Not suffering from any childhood traumas, right? Because I wrote about a lot of them in the book, right? So I've healed from whatever was going on with me, whatever I was dealing with, healed from that, right? Yeah. My legacy is good. My legacy is intact, right? Because, by this time, shoot, young lady coming up from the east side, you know what I'm saying, lost my mom, I done got custody of my little brothers, I'm raising them, everybody doing good, so, my legacy, I'm building on it, right? I'm building on it, right? So my image is everything at this point. Yeah. They have to see me. Because I'm raising them in my likeness. So they have to see me. They have to see the moves I'm making. They got to see how I move. Right? Yeah, they have to see me doing for others. They have to see me treating people how I want to be treated. They have to see me doing this actively. Right? consistently, right? They got to see me taking care of myself, right? They got to see me going to the doctor, me eating good, me keeping my weight down, me exercise. They got to see me loving me, right? So they got to know that I'm doing self-care days. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, they got to see that. They got to see me at work and at play. Yeah. They got to know that everything and anything is possible, right? They got to know that there are no ceilings for them, right? So they see me at these meetings. They see me making moves. They see me saying I'm going to do something, and I do it, right? They got to see that. Yeah. They got to see me handling my business. They got to see me paying bills. They got to see us stable. They got to see that, right? So, yeah, everything right now, the impression they have of me is I'm their superhero. Yeah. We never have thought that a few years from now the baby would be removed, right? So we hadn't gotten that far yet. Calm down. We all good right now. This 2013. We good right now. So y'all, that's it for coffee and conversation because I gotta go. Shit. I wasn't trying to rush through, but I was rushing through. Let me shoot some waves to Instagram. You already know Facebook. I gotta show Instagram some love. I'm probably not gonna call all your names out today because it's a lot of yous. But I appreciate you none the same. I'm going to leave you this way. And you better like it. All right, Facebook. Who checking in on Facebook? Hey, Auntie Doreen. Good morning. Hey, Pen Wrights. I sent you an invite to my show. Congratulations on all the books that I've seen you've published and put out, young man. I hope to see you on Motor City Radio soon. Hey, Brother Dion. Always a pleasure. Okay, I'm out. Mwah.